Hi there, welcome back to the deck of Artemis. Today we are anchored here at Winter Cove on Saturna Island, and we figured it'd be a good opportunity to show you a few of the modifications we've done to our Seaward 26RK to make cruising a little bit more fun. So we're going to go down below in the cabin, check out a few things, and then we'll come back out here into the cockpit and finish it up. Hope you enjoy it, and hope you can kind of come up with these can help you in the future. And if you have any stuff that you've done to your Seaward to make life easier when you're cruising, please put on the comments down below. Thanks. So one of the items that has proved to be pretty invaluable on this trip is our Milwaukee M18 vacuum cleaner. When you're living on a white boat with white soles, you would not believe just all the crap that just accumulates: hairs, dust, dirt, and it gets pretty annoying. So with this little dude, we are able to pretty much keep both our cockpit and cabin sole in really decent shape. So yeah, it takes up a little bit of room, but it is worth its weight in gold. Another great little sailboat hack here is basically how to make coffee without making a huge mess, having to deal with grounds later on, and not only that, but how to make a good cup of coffee. So I'm here to tell you that this little coffee machine called the AeroPress is almost the next best thing since sliced bread and butter. My daughter got me one about a couple of years ago for my birthday, and we love it. I mean, we've actually switched to using it full-time at home. And the great thing about it, it makes either 1 or 2 shots of coffee, and it's super easy cleanup. So here, let me take it apart. You can guys see how it works. So the basic components, really, the AeroPress is like a plunger is what it is. So you have a little coffee filter that you put in here. Put it kind of in the syringe part, I guess you would call it. And then depending on how many shots of coffee you want to make, there's a pre-measured spoon that basically just kind of, in this case we're doing 2 because I'm going to make coffee for my wife and I. There's 2, that's it. And then it's a question of basically then this particular AeroPress is a travel one. It comes with this little cup that you can do your brewing in. And looks like our water is ready to boil, or it's boiling right now, so we'll turn that sucker off. And we will I have to fill it to the top. Comes with this little stirrer guy. You stir this for 10 seconds. And then you kind of plunge it. So I was saying, my youngest daughter bought me kind of a more of the stay-at-home version of this a couple of years ago, and I have completely switched to making my coffee. It's incredible the difference of the taste of the coffee is between making it on this little machine or using a drip coffee machine. So this is far superior. So once it's all done, voila, you have basically 2 shots of, well, Kathy's going to show us a little bit closer, but you have 2 shots of espresso coffee, and it is quite tasty. So I normally will just grab our coffee cups, half and half, and then put a little extra hot water in it, and it makes a really decent cup of coffee. So now, the best part about this whole thing is cleanup, so I'm going to show that to you next. So, okay. So the best part about this is the cleanup. Back before we used to make coffee like this on the boat, we would have a French press, and man, what a mess of trying to just get rid of all the grounds. And I would basically go like reach off the back of the boat and try to get all the grounds up. This is really nice. You basically pop this little guy off, and then you pop it out. A puck of the coffee went in, and voila, that's it. So there's hardly any cleanup to it. So again, I would really recommend it. I really like the coffee, and for cleanup, it's just awesome, and it's very compact on a sailboat. So another great hack here for cruising on a small boat. Awesome. Now, from a heating department, which quite frankly is pretty important up here right now, when the sun goes down, it gets downright chilly, both outside and inside the boat. We have this Mr. Buddy heater that works off of a propane tank, And one addition that a friend of ours kind of clued us into were these stove fans that basically they automatically run once they start getting heat. And so what it does, it basically, because the heat from this Mr. Buddy pretty much just rises up, well, the fan pretty much blows it into the rest of the cabin, so it works awesome. So yeah, this is what we're using for our heat on the boat. And what we do is basically we roll the carpet up and put it right at the foot of the engine compartment, and it works wonders. So yeah, definitely a must-have while we're up here in the colder Pacific Northwest. I end up storing the heater in the grill case actually that we bought. So it actually works out very well because inside the heater, inside of this case, first of all, I made a quick little foam support for the fan so the blades don't get kind of jacked up when we put it away. And then deep in here is also, you can see, is our heater for when we are at the marina. So basically it's a fairly inexpensive fan that I think we may have gotten at Walmart at some point in time or the other. So that's kind of our little fan for the marinas. So now, one important thing is refrigeration. What do you use for a fridge? So we looked into this and did some research, and basically what we decided to do, we do no longer have the settee on the starboard side anymore. We left that cushion at home, and in its place we basically have this Dometic CFX 55 cooler. And what I've done is I've actually added a couple of tie downs. You can see right there is one, and back over here there's the other one. And then I actually went ahead and put a 12-volt plug back here that runs all the way through the back of the kitchen to back in here, where basically I have a couple of EcoFlow Pro Rivers battery banks that are what powers the fridge. So these are two 750 watt units. The first one is the smart control head. The second one is actually just a dumb battery. And so the fridge plugs into here, and this plugs into the solar, which is on the outside of the boat, up on the bin mini. And then there's also, this is where shore power comes in, and so we have that plugged in. So when we basically put shore power in, it'll charge up those batteries. So this, when it's sunny, it'll charge up to 100% every day, and it works awesome. On an overcast day, you lose about 30% of your battery bank every day. So if you don't get any kind of sunshine, you end up basically having to find a place to charge. You can charge them off the boat batteries, but they charge very slowly, so it's not ideal. But this Dometic fridge is really nice. Lots of room. And believe it or not, on the side over here, which has the compressor, there's actually a small area where you can actually put ice cubes. Do an ice cube tray. So if you move that, open this up, voila, ice cubes. Also, we found out we had bought some Breyer's ice cream bars at the Roche Harbor. It was cheaper to buy the 3-pack than buy one each for ourselves. And we have found out that you can actually stick an ice cream bar in there and it will keep it frozen. So yeah, nice little hack there. So that is what we do for our refrigeration. So as I said, we're pretty happy with it, so and would highly recommend it. So another cool thing we did on our boat is we bought some of this plastic, best described as what would be maybe like backing on a shower or something that you can get over at Lowe's or Home Depot's, and we kind of just cut them out to match the shape of the window. We put a little elastic band around it, so that kind of goes around in there, as you can see. And then we have our little stainless steel clips that allows them to keep them up or down, and they do a really nice job, as you can see over here, of keeping the lights out without having curtains. So yeah, that's a pretty cool thing to do on your Seaward or anything that has a similar portholes that these have. So yeah, these work great. The other must-have thing is somewhere to store your hatchboard. So yeah, my wife, with her awesome Sailboat machine, made this kind of a hatchboard holder that goes in the head. And then the other thing that we found that you cannot get enough little bags and whatever around here just to store stuff, just to make find a home for everything. It's a challenge on a boat this size. So she has made tons of these little bags. You can see there's one over here. There's one behind over there. We have the line bags over here, more line bags over there. Say hi, Kathy.
Hello.
So yeah, these bags have become very invaluable, and even stuff to basically I store in the back there. You can hard to see, but there's my mic, and behind all these jackets, there's another big giant bag that holds all our charts. So yeah, again, it's and last but not least, the bag for the flag. So when we take it off at night, we have a place to put it. So yeah, that works very well. Another thing we added was this little cage over here to hold the wastebasket and some just miscellaneous sundries. The Seaward definitely suffers a little bit in the storage side of things. I know every single one of these is slightly different, but yeah, so we just had this big gaping hole in the back where everything just wanders around. So at least this keeps the trash contained. So that actually worked out very well. As I said before, the Seaward seems to have a bit of a challenge when it comes to storage. Everything's open. There's really nothing blocking one storage area from the next. And the one area that we really had a challenge was back here in the lazarette on the starboard side, because the prop shaft is right there, and there's nothing preventing any of the stuff in the lazarette from going into the prop shaft. So basically what I ended up doing is I built this wall that goes around the whole prop shaft area to hold back all the stuff that could potentially slide into it. And basically what I ended up having to do is I bought some aluminum angle iron and I epoxied it to the floor of the boat. So that's how that holds that in place. So yeah, that was, again, a bit of a challenge on the Seaward when it comes to storage. It definitely could have been done a little bit better, but this was our solution to at least make the lazarette usable. So another fun little hack that we came up with, actually we didn't come up with, but our good friend Sue and Jim came up with, is that, hey, if you happen to have a rangefinder from back in your archery days where you used to kind of use that, maybe you should put it on your boat now, because guess what? Those things are awesome to basically, once you drop anchor, take some measurements on boats and around you and the shore. And then if you think you're moving, you can just very easily pick it back up again, shoot it, figure out the range, and kind of feel good about it. So yeah, believe it or not, a very good hack for anchoring. We used it a fair amount, especially the first couple of days where you're still a little uncertain. It's a great tool to double check where you're at. So yeah, another one. So another challenge when you're cruising is what to do with the gas for the dinghy. Because again, this is definitely something you do not want to put in the lazarette, especially in the Seaward, because the lazarette is definitely open to the cabin. So that's not good. Well, what we did is we came up with this kind of a ingenious way of just using one of those roto gas tanks that you see some of the off-road guys use, and just basically strap it to the side. So we are a huge fan of these little 3M snaps that you can just glue to the fiberglass. Those suckers, once on there, are on there forever. So it takes pretty much a decent heat gun and a pretty decent screwdriver to get them to pop off. But yeah, so in this way, we have a gallon of gas for our outboard. We just have a little Honda 2.3, so it kind of sips gas. And it's stored outside, and we don't have to worry about gas fumes and any explosive gases in the cabin. So yeah, pretty cool. So another good little hack for cruising on a 26RK is finding a place to put the propane canisters and also the butane canisters that run our stove and our heater respectively. So this boat obviously does not have its own propane system. So this works awesome on any boat really that has some kind of a binnacle / wheel on it that you're able to strap. So really it consists of two things. We have a bag that Kathy made. This is based off of our friend Katie's design that she did for her boat. And in this bag, we're able to put our butane containers in. So they're outside and stored. And then, compliment of our friend Doug, Katie's husband, we have these 4-inch PVC tubes that basically allow us to fit these green propane containers in there. And so we're able to put 2 on each side. So again, a very safe way of transporting your propane and butane, not inside your boat where you do not want any kind of explosive gases. I have actually drilled holes at the bottom of these PVC tubes on the end caps just to make sure that if anything of the cans leak, they basically will go out to the outside. So yeah, awesome. So another great little hack, compliment again of our friend Doug. He used this on his Seaward 25, and basically it's an easy way to provide some assistance when you raise your outboard or put it back into the dinghy. It definitely helps you take a lot of the load off. And it's basically just a 2-part block and tackle, and then I've used a basically a soft shackle up here to hook it to the bimini. Now keep in mind this is on our Honda 2.3, which weighs all of 35 pounds. I'm not sure how appropriate that would be for a bigger outboard, but for this small outboard it works excellent. Kathy and I have had less panic attacks about dropping the outboard into the drink since we've got the system going. So yeah, it makes life a lot easier. Just a quick mention that all the products that we show here today, we are not being subsidized on. This is just stuff that we bought based off of recommendations that we got from our friends or the internet. So I just wanted to let you know that. Awesome.